So today we're going to be using various tools. We'll start off with Mundorf M Solder Silver, which is 3.8%. I use it all the time. It flows really well, nice and easy to use, and has a good wet joint. Using just a small flathead screwdriver, Stanley knife, sharp blade, just some ordinary cutters, and snipe nose pliers. Also heat gun, because we're going to be using some heat shrink later. And we're also using the Zytronic 60-watt variable soldering iron. Right, now down to the nitty gritty. You may have noticed the vise, brought the vise in, we do need that later on. So first thing we do, open up one of the NG202 RCA plugs, and you'll notice that we have an insulation tube inside. We don't need this, so with your flat head screwdriver we're just going to loosen off the grub screw and pull it out like that. Be very careful about these grub screws, because once you drop them on the floor they're lost forever. Now what I do, just to see where to cut, basically I know that the end of the wire has to go to the central spigot, so it's about that, and I want the grub screw to fall down onto the red sleeving, so it's about there. Sharp Stanley knife, just be really careful here, and slowly, and don't make too much of an impression, just make a circle. Try and keep the circle continuous so that they join at the other end, like that, spot on. So give it a little bit of a bend and just push down slightly, and you'll feel it rip as you've got through the sleeving. Give it a little twist and give it a touch there, all the way around, a bit more of a touch there. You can try using wire strippers, but it's just very easy to pull the wire, break the wire, so I always use a Stanley knife. So here we have the copper braid here. Now we're only going to be wiring up the copper braid at one end, and this is the end we're going to be doing that to. Now on this wire you have arrows. Now the arrows, let me just find one, should be pointing towards the braided end. Can't find the arrows at the moment. They're quite faint. There you go. There's some arrows there, and they're pointing towards the braided end. So, first of all, try not to snag any of the braid in. With your flathead screwdriver, just work your way down. Now don't go all the way down. I'll show you why in a minute. So you're about there, that far down. Make sure you've got the braids like this, and then just give it a little bit of a twist there at one end. Now the foil you don't need, so snip that back, and there's padding inside. We want to get rid of that, so Bringing it back, trying to snap, cutting with the braid. Go the other way. Again, don't cut the braid like that. So now you've got the two conductors inside. You've got the red and the blue. The red I'm going to use for signal, and the blue I'm going to be using for the earth connection. One thing that we forgot to mention is we need the wire strippers. So what we're going to do, we're going to take back some wire. The red we're going to use for signal, so I only need about 5mm exposed, so take that off. With the blue is going to be joined up with the screen and then connected to the earth point on the RCA plug. So we're going to take that right back. The good thing about the Neotech sleeving, it comes off quite easy. This is only the thin stuff. It's quite tricky to use wire strippers and remove this. Very tricky. So what we're going to do is just tin the ends of those using the Zytronic variable soldering iron. So in there and in there, like that. Right. Also, what we're going to do is we need to keep all the braid together, because obviously it's braid, there's loads of individual strands and you don't want them going anywhere touching the live signal, because otherwise it won't work. So we've got the wire in the vise, so loosen it a bit, get all the wire down and then just very gently just plant some solder. Make sure you pick up all the loose strands. You go around, underneath. You've got to move it around. So a few loose ones there. So in there. You might need a bit of extra heat on this because there's quite a lot of wire to heat up. Brilliant. Then we're going to snip this off about there, because what we're going to do is we'll fold that back and get that joined to that, but we'll do that in a minute. Next job is to put the sleeve on the wire, because once you've wired the RCA plug you won't be able to get it back on. So there, over the top, and down like that. Now I'm going to solder the red signal wire to the centre spigot of the RCA plug. So holding it in place, we heat up both at the same time. Leave it about 2-3 seconds. And away we go. Takes up a bit of heat. There you go. Done. So now we need to give it a little bit of a push. There. And then tighten it up like this, so it keeps it locked in place, because now we have to do the earth part. So you have to attach those together, solder away. That's it. So you've got the blue wire is connected to the braid, which is connected to the earth post, or the earth part of the RCA plug. So that one's done. Then you just join it back, screw it in.